Okay, so in this video, the request was removing this head from the body. 'Cause right now, this is all set up as one object. And so if you wanted to use this head on a different model, you got to remove it. So first thing I would always check when you have a model that's put together like this is I would always go to edit and separate shells and just hope on the off chance that maybe these two were joined by using something like the combine feature or the join feature in Blender so that you could still separate them. Okay, no luck there. All right, so we somehow have to separate the two of these. And now there's a couple different ways you could go about doing this. It's the way the shape is set up would be really hard to do like a plane cut and get this. It depends too. Do you want to separate and reuse this body, or do you want to separate and use that on a different body? All depending on how you're going to use it may change how you want to tackle it. So I think the first method would be, let's see, is just to take your selection tool and let's see, we're going to try to get as low down as you can in there. And now you can see if we the idea was to make a selection all the way around and then delete that to separate it and then do like a fill. But this is a really kind of ugly mesh here. It's very low poly, which for this neck, low poly is great. And it is totally fine. But for making a clean selection, not so great. So I'm going to go in with this, with the refine brush here, and add some more polygons in there, so that when I go around with the select tool, okay, I can get a cleaner line. See how that's a lot cleaner? It's not, we don't have this like jagged edge that we had before. All right, and like I said, I'm just trying to get as much of the neck as possible. All right, and if I do command or control click while using the select brush, it works as a deselect tool, so I can go back and kind of deselect where maybe I got a little too much. Okay, so then I can hit delete. These should be separated. I'll double click select on the head and then do separate to make that its own object. So now I can go ahead and hide the body. So now I've got just the head. Now it's not a great looking neck, to be honest. Now I can try to fill this in. So you would do that by double clicking on the edge, which makes a selection all the way around the edge. I might hold down control or command and scroll up on my mouse to just get a little bit more. Sometimes that helps with the fill, especially when we have such a odd shape. This is not going to be an easy one to fill, so I'll go ahead and do this. It's probably going to take a while to run. Yeah, there we go, and that's ugly. See, so we can play with this to see if we can sort of flatten that out a little bit. We can change this to a flat remesh, but it's not a really flat hole per se. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. I might just try to see what happens with a flat remeshed. See if it looks any better. Okay, not great. Not terrible. Let's go ahead and hit OK. Now, what we can do is with this selection still active, we can hit T for transform, and we can pull this neck out a little bit more. we kind of lose some neck. We'll hit accept. All right, and then we might want to do, let's see, we're gonna select that, and then I'm gonna bump up the selection a little bit more. And go up into the neck, and then let's run deform and smooth. See if we can kind of clean this up a little bit. And we're gonna up the scale. A little bit more. All right, and then hit OK. So we got a little neck back. We will, let's see, take the smooth brush. And we're just gonna clean up that edge there. Come around down here. All right, I'm gonna, let's see, do a Control A or Command A to select it all, and then just get rid of that face group. So we can kind of see it all in one color. All right. So now you should have enough neck to kind of work with. You know, it doesn't look great. Given the weird shape of the neck, you know, and depending on where you may want to repurpose this one, may have been better, you know, maybe just to do like a plain cut right across here, and then bring in a separate model that has like neck and shoulders, and then merge this head with that. I would probably either just like merge, especially because the angle of this neck may not work on the figure you're using it for. You know, I'd probably want to merge this with a new neck and shoulders. Sort of. Otherwise, I'll probably would want to take this into Blender and kind of fix this area. But starting with a new head and shoulders might just be easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and just I will demonstrate that. I'm gonna go ahead and just save this as it is, so you have that. And then I'm going to import, let's see. Yeah, this one should be fine. And I like this one. It's only 37 megabytes, so it opens real fast. The other one I had was a little bit bigger. All right. Scale this guy up. Since we don't need all of him, let's just plain cut this right away. Get rid of that lower half. Must be something. This transform tool should be right in the center here, which means that there's something down here that's still attached to this model. I bet if I do, let's see, separate shells. No separate shells. Inspector. There. Nope. Why is that still down there? Right, don't like that that's on there, so we're gonna do this. If we go here and here and just select what's up here and hit Y to separate that out. Delete the original there. Okay, so now when I hit the transform tool, it's right in the middle there. Okay. Now we just started to need to get these sized up properly. Okay, perfect. All right, let's. I'll just call this part neck. All right, hide Alan. So. What I usually do, I'll start with something like this here. And then we're going to plane cut just below the jawline there. Good. Make sure that I'm removing what's above the plane. All right. There we go. And then for Josh, sort of this, we're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to run plane cut right about there. And remove everything below the plane. All right. And then turn that on. All right. And now we can sort of work on getting this lined up a little bit more. Kind of looks like Chris Pratt. All right. That looks good. All right. So then I'm going to take this, shift click on here, Boolean union. Uncheck that. Hit accept. Okay, got some errors there. Run inspector. Clean those up. Okay. All right, so going to select everything and clear the face group. It's all one color. It's easy to see how well things blend. I want to blend in these areas. I want to make sure the areas where I'm blending, I do have a nice amount of mesh. So, or at least there shouldn't be a huge difference in the mesh density between the two areas you're trying to blend, or that seems going to be very obvious. All right. And just using the smooth brush, I'm just going to rough this out. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So from here, you may just want to, trim off some of this excess. So maybe there. There you go. And then that should join nicely with another torso. So I'm going to export that. Josh Allen, full neck. And those are sort of the two ways I would approach separating those heads and then getting them ready for a new model.